The wind howled through Umuaka like a grieving widow, carrying whispers from a place no man dared name. It had been 20 seasons since Adaoma vanished into the forest, sealing the gate and fading into legend. But now, the river sang strange songs again, and the trees leaned closer to the village as if trying to warn them. On the night of the blood eclipse, a child named Ebube was born under a sky stained red. She came into the world silent, eyes wide open, her right palm marked with the same ancient symbol Adaoma once bore. Her birth was surrounded by thunder, even though no clouds stirred above the land. The midwife dropped her the moment she saw the mark, screaming, "It is her! She has returned." But Mama Nina, now ancient and nearly blind, was still alive, and she came limping to the child, whispering, "No, not her." A continuation. Ebube grew quickly, too quickly. By age 6, she was reciting forgotten incantations in her sleep. She knew things no one taught her, where the forest wept, how to calm angry spirits, and how to command fire with a whisper. The villagers feared her but dared not harm her, for any who tried met strange accidents, cracked mirrors, dead livestock, endless nightmares. Mama Nina took her in and began training her, knowing the time of peace had ended. The first monster was born from pain, she told Ebube, but the second will be born from vengeance. In the realm between realms, the gatekeeper stirred, her chains of stars beginning to rattle. She watched as cracks formed in the gates once sealed by Adaoma's sacrifice. Something worse than Ezekama stirred beneath, Okpanku, the devourer of light, a being not born of this world, but exiled from it. Okpanku had once been a god, but was cast down when he tried to steal the heart of the moon. Now, sensing Ebube's rising power, he whispered to the shadows, bending them toward his resurrection. Strange things began happening in Umuaka. The sun wouldn't rise for days. Goats gave birth to stillborn kids, and twins began disappearing. Ebube stood on the hill one evening, holding a lion bone charm that glowed each time danger approached. "It's coming," she whispered to Mama Nina. "But it's not after me. It's after her memory." The shrine of Adaoma began to crumble, cowries cracking, the statue weeping black tears. Dreams returned to the people, visions of a fiery river, a burning tree, and a girl crying in reverse. Elders gathered and debated banishing Ebube, fearing she brought the curse. Mama Nina slapped her staff against the ground. "Fools! She is the only thing holding the darkness back." Meanwhile, deep in the forest, a second gate pulsed, one hidden even from the ancestors. From it crawled things half human, half shadow, with bones for faces and tongues made of smoke. They crept into the village at night, whispering lies into sleeping ears, turning brother against brother. Ebube confronted one by the river, her charm flashing with golden heat, and it disintegrated into ash. She collapsed afterward, her body bruised and her spirit flickering with fatigue. Mama Nina tended to her, chanting ancient verses to bring her back. "You're not ready," she warned. "You need to find the source." "Where?" Ebube asked, tears in her eyes. "In Dani, just like Adaoma." Ebube was afraid, not of dying, but of failing. She packed nothing, only her charm, a gourd of firewater, and a promise written on bark: "I will return." As the village slept, she walked into the forest, the path opening before her like a book written in shadows. The wind whispered her name, Ebube. The trees parted to reveal the old shrine where Adaoma had once battled Ezekama. But it was now overrun, coated in black moss, bleeding vines, and a stench that made the stars flicker. She placed her palm on the cracked altar and closed her eyes. Her spirit rose from her body in a surge of golden light, soaring into the realm between realms. There she found the gatekeeper, older now, her eyes clouded. "You again," the gatekeeper rasped. "Or one like her." "I need the source," Ebube said. "To fight Okpanku, even gods fear him." "But I am not a god," she said. "I am a girl with nothing to lose." The gatekeeper studied her and opened a new door, one made of molten gold and ash. Ebube stepped through and was swallowed by a scream. She landed in a place of total silence. No sky, no earth, just weightless despair. In the void, Ebube felt every fear she'd ever buried. Loneliness, failure, pain, swirl around her like smoke. Suddenly, A hand reached from the shadows, small, warm, familiar, and pulled her to her feet. It was Adeoma. She looked the same, barefoot, torn dress, braids streaked with light, but her eyes were deep pools of forgotten memories. You came, Adeoma whispered. I've been waiting. Are you real? As real as any story that lives in the bones of the earth. Ebube wept. They forgot you. It doesn't matter. What matters is that the darkness remembers. The void around them shifted, forming a corridor made of light and bone. Adeoma led Ebube forward. Okpanku is older than monsters. He feeds on forgotten heroes and corrupted truths. How do we fight him? Not with power, with memory, with love, with sacrifice. At the end of the corridor, a floating altar pulsed with energy, half golden, half shadow. This is the source, Adeoma said. Take only what you need, or it will consume you. Ebube stepped forward and placed her charm into the altar's light. Visions flooded her mind. Generations of women who fought, healed, bled, and rose again. She screamed, but not in pain. In recognition, the charm burst into flames and reformed as a phoenix-shaped pendant glowing with ancient light. Go, Adeoma whispered. This is your battle now. Ebube opened her eyes in the mortal world, rising from the altar, glowing like dawn. Around her, the corrupted forest trembled, and from the darkness, Okpanku emerged. He had no face, only a swirling void filled with voices, claws the size of trees, and wings made of broken oaths. Little girl, he boomed. You carry her scent, the one who sealed me. I carry more than her scent, Ebube said, holding out her phoenix pendant. I carry her fire. Okpanku laughed, and the sky shattered like glass. He charged, faster than sound, striking, with a fist that split the earth. Ebube leapt into the air, her pendant forming a shield that deflected the blow and scorched his claws. The battle raged for hours, light against void, fire against silence. Villagers gathered on the hills, watching. The sky burned with war. Mama Nina stood among them, her blind eyes glowing faintly. She's not fighting alone. Spirits of old warriors rose behind Ebube, women and men forgotten by time, but remembered by the source. Together, they formed a circle, chants echoing. Through dimensions, Okpanku faltered, shrieking as their presence weakened his form. I will devour every memory, he bellowed. No one will remember your name. Ebube landed on his back, slammed the pendant into his core, and shouted, even if they forget me, they will remember the light. A blinding explosion erupted, light, so fierce it repelled darkness for miles. The earth cracked, the clouds wept, and silence fell. When the smoke cleared, Okpanku was gone, reduced to dust and wind. Ebube lay unconscious, her body glowing gently, her braids flowing like they were underwater. Mama Nina rushed to her side and placed her hand on her chest. Come back, child. The story isn't over. Ebube gasped and awoke, smiling through her tears. I saw her. She saw you too, Mama Nina said. And she's proud. The villagers fell to their knees, not in worship, but in respect. They named her Omanala, keeper of the sacred law. That night, a new shrine was built beside Adeoma's, 2 warrior girls etched into stone, side by side. Ebube spoke to the crowd. You feared me once. Now stand with me. Let no child fight alone again. They cheered, drums rising like thunder in the sky. But Mama Nina pulled her aside. There's something else. In her dreams, Ebube returned to Ndani. But something was different. The gatekeeper was gone, and in her place stood a mirror, tall and cracked. Within it, Ebube saw herself, but older, cloaked in fire, with eyes of shadow. What is this? She whispered. A voice answered from behind the mirror. This is what happens if you forget who you are. The third door pulsed behind her, unopened, unexplored. It was labeled, in symbols she didn't recognize. She touched it, and visions filled her again. Villages burning, ancient gods awakening, a child crying alone in the void. What is this warning? She asked. A voice replied. The true enemy is not the monster. It is the hunger for forgetting. Ebube woke in a sweat, clutching her phoenix pendant tightly. The skies had turned calm, but the air still felt tense. That day, a messenger from a distant land arrived, bloodied, frantic. Help, he gasped. Something is coming from the sea. What kind of something? A voice in the waves, calling people to walk into the water. Ebube turned to the ocean. A new beast, she whispered. Mama Nina nodded. The second was born of vengeance. The third is seduction. Villagers debated running, but Ebube raised her hand. We stand. We remember. We fight. She trained others, girls, boys, men, and women, to hold charms, to speak the chants, to carry light. She built a wall of faith, not stones, around the village. And yet, she knew the third door would one day open. At night, she sat beneath the baobab, writing her memories in bark and INKS. They will remember, she told Mama Nena. The old woman smiled. You've become the story. A young girl approached one evening, no more than 5, holding a clay idol of Ebube. Are you the monster girl? She asked. Ebube knelt. No, child. I'm the girl who faces monsters. The girl smiled. When I grow up, I'll be like you. Ebube hugged her gently. Be better than me. Drums echoed in the distance. The tide,